Harry Potter the Exhibition is the ultimate celebration of the Harry Potter film series. It's an absolutely amazing experience where we have props and artifacts and costumes from the entire film series.
There's nothing hidden in your head the sorting hat can't see. So try me on and I will tell you where you ought to be.
James and Oliver Phelps.
Hi guys.
With casting, did you get to decide who was Fred and who was George, or did they go, no, you're Fred, you're George?
Yeah, they told us, basically we'd had 6 weeks of auditioning and we got cast, had our hair dyed, all good. Then before you shoot a movie, you do something called a read-through. And we got there and we still didn't know who was Fred and who was George. We just knew that we were Fred and George. So we said to Janet Hutchinson, who was the casting director, she came over and said, you look forward to today? I was like, yeah, quick question, Janet, who am I? She was like, you're joking, right? Thinking that we were practicing around. I was like, no, really, who's Fred and who's George? So she was like, ah. So she went over and spoke to Chris Columbus, David Heyman and J.K. Rowling. And she came back about 5 minutes later and said, oh yeah, Oliver, you're George, James, you're Fred. So I'd like to think that they said, what, you didn't get the memo of the big board meeting we had in LA or anything? But, yeah, so that's how we found out.
Were you ever tempted to switch?
We were tempted a few times, yeah, but it was one of those things where, like, at the end of the film, you see how long the credits are. And I'd really want to be the one who had to get all those guys in for another day when they didn't need to be or work late, you know.
So was there anything on set that you can remember that you had to be so overly cautious with because they could only make one, or it was so you had to be so careful with it?
I think that's the cool thing with the props is you're never too cautious about holding them.
Yeah.
Because they'd always make a backup plan type thing. And I think that if you were cautious with it, it would come over quite a lot on set. Yeah. So I mean, even to the point where, say, in the exercise books on the Great Hall set, we'd actually do our own schoolwork on set.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How many wands did you end up breaking between the both of you?
I broke 3.
I broke 2.
Do you remember how you broke each one? Or?
Yeah, the first one I learnt my lesson very early on. It was like the first, so Oliver and I hadn't had a wand until the 5th movie. So I got this thing, and it's like a pine cone. The handle's like a pine cone. And yeah, I'd had it for about a month, and they'd only give us them when we were going on and coming off set, like they were taking them. And so anyway, this is a good reenaction.
Oh, it was in your pocket.
And I learned never put your wand in your back pocket.
So my one was a lot thinner in the middle part, so it was almost shaped like a broomstick. So where the saddle would be, and it would always be like if I dropped it, and literally any impact. We were filming in the room of requirements on the 5th movie, and I just dropped it on that, and the thing just went snap. And didn't want to tell anyone, so I was trying to do the film for that whole day with it, just the end bit in my head. And so yeah, you kind of learn your lesson the hard way.
Some of the nastier Weasley twins pranks were kind of kept out of the film. Are you happy that those are out and they're kind of nicer characters, or would you have liked to have?
I would have liked to have. I would have liked them because you see that they can cross the line a little bit, but yeah, we'll never know what it would have been like if they had them.
Well, but when we were still filming, we still knew that that's what the characters were up to, so we still had that in the back of our mind, like even if it's like a twinkle of the eye kind of thing, just like that little thing, like to get that characteristic out in a tiny way without blowing up a toilet seat or something like that.
For Sydney, we actually have some really neat stuff. We've collected all the Horcruxes. We just have one to go. But
we never actually saw those all together, even when we were filming. So that's quite a buzz for us.
I don't think anyone's ever seen them together. So it's kind of.
The thing that I'm really looking forward to the fans to seeing when they come here is there's the dragon from the Goblet of Fire, and you actually see the detail. I mean, like, it's not chained up and like, it's but like just the head. But you see just the detail that goes into creating. So I'm really glad that still made the trip.
All right, so now we'll give you an opportunity to go through the exhibition.
Welcome to Harry Potter the Exhibition. Come along, right this way. Step lively now. Hurry along, much to see ahead. Come along.